Green architecture is something that we will look into, and as I said, it has tremendous potential to have a good business model, and you can think about it. In the course of this session, you will come to know why I said that it has got tremendous potential to establish your business model in. First of all, let us understand what is meant by green architecture, and later on, we'll go for the MCQs. Green architecture, also known as sustainable architecture or eco architecture, is a design philosophy that aims to minimize the environmental impact of buildings while promoting health, comfort, and productivity for the occupants. Their green architecture incorporates design, materials, and systems that reduce energy consumption, conserve natural resources, and promote renewable energy resources. We all know that we are number one in the world in terms of population, and this population needs residentials like houses and bungalows and flats and all. And it requires soil, it requires all the natural resources that are available. And once we consume these natural resources, the next generation will have nothing left. And that's why green architecture, as I said, it's a need of an hour. And so what is this green architecture means? Whatever design you have, whatever products or material that you use, whatever systems you incorporate in terms of energy consumption and all, everything is green. That means there is zero or very negligible impact on environment as far as your housing is concerned. Housing is concerned, whatever material you use, whatever interior you use, whatever colors, whatever wood, whatever tiles that you use, and the way you consume your energy, everything has to be green. That means it should have very nil or maybe very negligible impact on environment. Because if the environment is affected the way it is getting affected by the human activities, the day will come that we will carry water bottles, will carry oxygen cylinders, and will carry umbrella so that we get protected from the radiation of our sun. So that's why green architecture is the need of our. That is what I said. So what is this? What are the key principles on which this green architecture works? Sustainability. Sustainability, as I said, for this generation and all the coming generations, all the natural resources should be available, and the environment should not affect. That is sustainability. Energy efficiency, whatever energy resources, the traditional resources we use, mostly it is the thermal power that we consume, and that affects our environment, that affects our air, that affects our soil. And if we use the modern energy resources like solar and tidal energy, definitely, and the material or the equipments or the tools, that electric and electronic appliances that we use, if they are very much saving the electricity or the energy, that is what is required in green architecture. Then water conservation, we have the watersheds, we whatever rain we receive, from that rain the water is conserved, the water is stored, and the same water is utilized, so that it doesn't go to our gutters, it doesn't go to our rivers, and doesn't go to the sea where it came from. And that's why we should conserve the water also. Material selection, whatever material that we use, it should be recyclable, it should have sustainability in it, it should have zero impact on environment. That is what we have to use while building our houses. Indoor air quality, design buildings and that promote good indoor air quality using natural ventilation, air filtration systems, and non-toxic materials. See, whatever infrastructure that you are going to use, we must make sure that the natural light and the natural air is circulated in the residences, and not that 24 by 7 we should keep the light on. That is how the structure has to be built. Then waste reduction, whatever material we are using, make sure that we are using it in such a manner that it is enough or sufficient, so that the debris that is created, it should not be created, and if it is created, it should be very negligible, and it should have that recycling strategies. Then renewable energy, as I said, tidal energy, solar energy, geothermal energy, everything should be utilized, so that our building should be completely green, and it should have very less or zero impact on environment. Now, what are the examples of this green architecture? Green roof, plant covered roofs that reduce storm water runoff and improve insulation. Means on the roof itself, you have the greenery, and that absorbs the sun and then the radiation, and it affects you less, and that's why you don't use your air conditioners on and off. Solar panels. You use solar panels so that the energy is generated then and there itself, and you don't use the thermal power. Rainwater harvesting. We have to make sure that whatever rain we receive, we store. We should have the system to store the water that simply runs to our roof and the in the premises. Better you just harvest it, and so that the same water can be utilized for the consumption as well as for other work. Recycled material. Whatever material we are using, make sure that you are using the recycled glasses and the reclaimed woods, and not that every time you go and simply cut the trees and get the things for your household building. Then you should have the passive solar design. Now, what is building design that maximizes natural light and heat from the sun? So you should build your house, your the building in such a manner that you get natural light, the sunlight in abundance, so that the same sunlight can be utilized to generate solar energy, and the same energy can be used for your household consumption. Now let us talk about the MCQs, because these are very important. This is very important topic, and this is going to be asked in your final board examination. Let us discuss one by one. What is, and as I said, I will not read the alternatives. I will simply talk about the answers, because the answer that matters. If you want to read the alternatives also, you can simply pause the video and you can go through the alternatives also, so that you come to know that what kind of alternative may be there in examination. So, what is the primary goal of green architecture? Answer: to create energy efficient and environmentally responsible buildings. Which of the following is a key feature of green architecture? Answer: incorporating energy efficient lighting, heating, and cooling systems. Which of the following is commonly used in green architecture to reduce energy consumption? Answer: solar panel. What is the term for the practice of designing buildings to minimize their environmental impact throughout their lifestyle? Answer: sustainable architecture. Which certification system is used globally to assess the sustainability of buildings, including green architecture? Answer: LEED, LEED. Now, what is the full form of LEED? You may be asked in your examination. That is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. Which of the following is a common material used in green architecture due to its renewable properties? Answer: bamboo. How does green architecture address water conservation? Answer: by incorporating rainwater harvesting systems. Which of the following is a passive design strategy used in green architecture to optimize energy use? Answer: strategic placement of windows to maximize natural light. What is the environmental benefit of green roofs in green architecture? Answer: they reduce stormwater runoff and improve insulation. Next question: which of the following is an important consideration in green architecture regarding building materials? Answer: using locally sourced and sustainable materials to reduce carbon footprints. So these were very important questions based on the green architecture. I hope that you will go through all the alternatives and the answers. Definitely it will help you in coming examination. All the very best. Keep learning.